entire team basically had an office at the Broncos facility. So like he had a parking spot, like he had his own separate
People
operation.
really get upset about that parking spot. I'm going to go on the record and say a quarterback deserves a parking spot. I don't think there's anything wrong with him having a parking spot.
Listen, I bet no one cares if Lamar Jackson has a parking spot or Josh Allen has a parking spot. But when you bring your whole separate team, I think that's when things got a little challenging. And I think Sean Payton had to clean that up. He had to make sure Russell Wilson knew that wasn't going to fly. He did that. The marriage didn't work out. He moved on. And now everybody's in their separate spots. The guy just lost his job to a rookie. Okay? Russell Wilson is dealing with the criticism and the scrutiny that comes with that. We don't have to, make him a storyline. And I just thought it was unfair the way Sean Payton went after a dude who was already, out of the headlines.
49ers are at the Texans today. If you're Houston, Myron, I think this is one of those games you really need to win. And if you're the 49ers, I've talked a lot about how easy their schedule is. This is kind of one of the last games that you look at and go, well, 49ers could lose this. I mean, right now, if you're Houston, you're 2-4. You cannot go to 2-5 when Indianapolis is sitting there at 6-1, maybe about to go to 7-1. Is this a all hands on deck season on the line for Houston?
Yeah. I mean, you lose this game, I don't know how you win the division, right? This is a must-win game, I think, for the Texans. How many years we've been saying, C.J. Stroud went from the guy who was putting himself in top 5 conversations to last year dealt with a lot of injuries, didn't look the part the way we had expected after his rookie season. And now here he is in year 3 and he's facing adversity again. I just think they got to win today if you're going to feel like this team can come back and get into the playoff picture, especially since it's at home. You're playing the Niners at home. They got a bunch of injuries too, Matt. Like every Niners game is like 8 people in the suite.
And it's been like that for
like
3. It's been like that for 3 years. I will say this. C.J. Stroud will always be my example of why I will not crown a quarterback as great until their 3rd year. Because the C.J. Stroud thing, and I'm going to be like that with Drake May. I was like it with Jaden Daniels last year. You're never going to get me to rank a quarterback in the top 5 until I see get to their 3rd year, because the drop-off with C.J. Stroud has really been unbelievable since his rookie season.
What I appreciate is that he's not doing any more of those podcasts where he was talking about, me versus Mahomes. Like, whoever is in his camp got to him and cut all that out.
King of the Mountain.
I think that was a good idea.
King of the Mountain, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-SAY-ESPN. Your job is to call in, get your take, be ready to go. We have a champion. Your job is to knock them down. You pick a topic of your choice. Make it concise, make it good. This is how Rich Eisen got his job on SportsCenter. It's the same way for you. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's King of the Mountain. That's next here on Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. Patrick Mahomes has all his weapons back, so is it time for me to admit that the Chiefs are now the clear favorites to win the AFC? Don't think so. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be part of the Southeastern Conference? That yours is the only conference with its own chant? Well, yes, but it means more than that. It means a study abroad program that might include reforestation in a mangrove swamp in Australia. It means finding your calling, your future spouse, your startup's co-founders, and of course, grilling tongs that play your fight song. This is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. It is week 8 of the NFL, but there is sad news to report for the football world. Former Jet center Nick Mangold has died. Mangold had been dealing with a kidney disorder. The Jets announced the passing of Mangold just a short while ago on social media. Nick Mangold was 41 years old. Meanwhile, 7 early games will kick off within about an hour. One will be the Bills visiting the Panthers, which you can hear in select ESPN radio affiliates. Buffalo linebacker Matt Milano is inactive today. The second game on our ESPN radio affiliates will be the Colts and the Titans from Indianapolis, with coverage starting at 4 Eastern. Shedeur Sanders won't be the backup to Dylan Gabriel today when the Browns face the Patriots. He's inactive today. However, tight end David Njoku is active for Cleveland. The Falcons will host the Dolphins and will be without Drake London. He is inactive for today's game. DeAndre Swift will be active today for Chicago when the Bears play the Ravens in Baltimore. The Jets will visit the Bengals. Running back Breece Hall, as well as tight end, as well as Breece Hall, will be active. Trey Hendrickson active as well for Cincinnati. One of the early games will be an NFC East showdown between the Giants and the Eagles in Philadelphia. Now, New York blew out Philadelphia earlier this month. Eagles running back Saquon Barkley talked about what they learned from that loss to the Giants earlier in the season.
I mean, that's what happens when you go against a team who got juice and playing with swagger and confidence, and defense that we already know that they're really good, and offense they put in a young quarterback who's super talented.
Despite the loss to the Giants, the Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite on ESPN Bet.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, we look ahead to the Chiefs hosting an undermanned Commanders team. Plus, Damian Woody joins us in studio at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to the Alabama Football Recap Show with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton. Smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Drew and Steve.
Play action from Sellers. Pressure coming. Unloads it at the last moment. Bobbled. Picked off. Intercepted. On his feet. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Deshaun Jones caught the deflection. And the pick six for Alabama gives the Tide a 6-3 lead. fires it out right side, catches made. Hill makes a man miss. 30, 35, 40. He's got a first down before he's bumped out of bounds. We got ISO coverage on the right side, and Alabama makes the most of a second opportunity. 26 from Daniel Hill. Simpson looking to throw, stepping up in the pocket, scrambling to his right, fires, has a man, catches made. Daniel Hill 30, still on his feet, 20, 15, stumbles and down at the 6-yard line. In motion, Bernard. Simpson looking, firing, catch, touchdown. Josh Cuevas makes the grab in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. 4 yards on the strike, and Bama converts on the 4th and goal with 1:45 to play as the Gamecocks work for their 25 with 2 wideouts left, one to the right for Sellers, and a man in the backfield. He gets the snap, blitz coming, and he's going to go down. What a play, Justin Jefferson. Got the sack, held on for dear life. Timeout, Alabama. Simpson an empty backfield, pistol formation. He's got 2 wideouts left, one right. That's Jam Miller, who's now going to come across the formation. Play action to him. Ty looking, swings it to Jam, gets a block from Cuevas, gets inside the 20, lowers his head and runs forward to the 13-yard line. Kevin is to the right side of the formation. Now the snap to Ty, the dump off to Jeremy. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. And the Tide will go for 2 with 2:16 to play to try to knock the score at 22. 4-man front for the Gamecocks. It looks like a direct snap to Ty. He'll roll, he'll flip it in the air, caught Cuevas. It's a 2-point conversion. The direct snap actually went to Daniel Hill, who flipped it to Ty, who then threw it to Cuevas for the 2-point conversion. And we are deadlocked at 22. 2 wideouts each side, quarterback draw. Sellers stacked up. Tim Keenan grabbed him, and he got some help. The ball may have come out late, but I think it's going to be South Carolina football. But 3rd and a couple. Did Bama take it away? They're talking it over. They say it's Bama's football. There was a
the ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Alabama.
Bernard in the pistol. In the Wildcat. Jeremy getting the snap. Fakes the flip. Keeps it himself. 20, 15. Jeremy 10. Jeremy 5. Touchdown, Alabama. Jeremy Bernard fakes the pitch to Ty Simpson on a reverse. Catch it. Got a couple of blocks and took it to the house. And Alabama leads it by 6 with 34 seconds remaining. Sellers looking. Pressure coming. He's going to go down. Set again by Alabama. It was Nakai Hill Green, and the clock's going to run out, and Bama's going to win it 29-22. And for the love, let's get out of here. What a ball game as Bama battles back place, and the 4th-ranked team in America gets it done. Its 7th win of the year. Another one now in SEC play. Their 5th, and the misery continues for South Carolina. But oh, what a glorious day for the Alabama Crimson Tide as Tyler White's, they find a way to get it done.
Well, I'll intervene right there, Chris Stewart. That is the calls there from Learfield as we welcome you into this Bama Recap Show on this Sunday morning. Phone lines are open to you at 256-576-4977. I'm actually going to blame a lot of this on Chris Stewart. His first segment of the Crimson Tide Sports Network said, you know what? As long as we get a dub, I don't care how it looks, as long as we're just 1 point better. I wish I had that segment so I could play it back for you because I'm not making this up. This one's on you, Chris Stewart.
Well, and
good morning.
Good morning, Steve. And I'll just have one small correction. That was Keon Keeley.
That's right.
I got the sack. I did post that on my X account right after it happened.
Yeah.
Keon Keeley did his Damian Square impersonation for all those LSU fans out there. in 2012. Got the sack, too.
I got a feeling we're going to get to that here in a little bit. But do you want to get into the offensive line, or do you want me to start with the offensive line?
Well, I thought they played poorly. But I will say this. There's a couple things. One, I thought Alabama was tired. I think that the stretch caught up to them. It's very difficult to create that kind of frenetic energy all the time. And when and I'm going to say this, and I posted it on my X account. It was the most difficult stretch in SEC history. Do not forget that South Carolina was considered a top 15 team in the preseason.
They were. And that was the healthiest they've been in over a month.
And that, Sellers at some point, I think he needs another year, but is a first-round talent. Mm-hmm. He's like tackling a tank. He's like Cam Newton, okay?
Yeah.
He's a talented kid. He played good, not great. If he had played great, Alabama wouldn't have won the game.
But that's why Beamer said this is the second year in a row that South Carolina has let Alabama score.
Yeah.
And it's bit them in the butt.
That was stunning to me. I mean, because first of all,
a little bit to me too.
DQ Smith just all of a sudden let him go. When you watch the replay, he's just like.
But that's exactly what he was coached to do.
But look, there's only 34 seconds to go. You got to make Alabama make a kick, and they don't have Will Reichert.
Well, but the coaching point, you know what? I've got it here from Shane Beamer in case you didn't hear this post game.
I'm sorry, I did not.
This is what Shane Beamer said.
We when they broke the run at the end, we let them score so we could get the ball back. And I went up to him on the sideline and I told him, "Look, we just let them score so you get an opportunity to go win this thing." And that's not what happened. And when it was 22-all, I told Mike on the headphones, let's, in my mind, we got the best player in the stadium today, and let's let him go win it. And we just weren't quite able to do that.
So his thought later on in the press conference was, if whatever they do run-wise, they were assuming run, gets beyond the first down sticks, let them score, because if we don't, they will just basically kick an extra point to win the game.
Well, and again, that's what if they had pushed Jerm out inside the 10, it would have been basically an extra point. But I'm going to say this: if Talty had missed it, then you go to overtime, and then you cut Talty. That's basically what you do, because this is like the NFL now. I'm sorry, you got to
remember
make
at least
point.
What I was watching. Talty has not been put in that situation.
He hasn't, and that's what I'm saying. I would have put him in the situation.
I don't know if Shane didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nobody was. That's what I would have asked him post game. Did you realize Talty has never been in that situation? Extra point or not, that is still a different deal.
Once it got under a minute, I'm not going to let him score.
I know hindsight's always 20/20.
That's what I'm not going to let him score if it's under a minute. I'm going to put game pressure on the kicker to have to make it.
You never know.
Look at Penn State in '89 against Alabama. You block it. What if you block it?
Yeah.
And he's a special teams guy.
Yeah.
Or what? And
I think that says a lot about what he thought about that.
Remember a few years ago, the thicker kicker. He missed like a 27-yarder against Auburn. I'm sorry. And I mean this. I think Talty hopefully would have drilled the kick.
Oh, we'll not.
But you'll never know.
Yeah, we won't know.
Because, and again, to me, if you don't make that kick, you're not the kicker anymore. But because you got to make kicks like that. It's not a 50-yarder, okay? Mm-hmm. It's an extra point. But I will say this, and I've said it, I'm going to go on the record. I'm always truthful. I'm just glad they didn't put it in his hands to have to do that. And if South Carolina wants to let him score, that's your fault. And so Jerm scored a touchdown. Like Jerm said after the game, coaches gave me a green light. They told me not to run out of bounds, don't take a knee, to take it down to the last play, score a touchdown.
Go score. Yeah.
Because in my opinion, with 30 seconds to go, it's going to be very difficult for South Carolina to go the length of the field.
And then especially what happened on the kickoff is what that was as perfectly executed a kickoff as you can have for Alabama.
Yeah.
And
they're starting inside the 20.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly what I mean.
You know what you're doing. You're getting after it.
Yeah.
I mean, you get after the quarterback, make it difficult on him. They threw the ball in the flat and helped Alabama. You tackle the guy in bounds, you have no timeouts.
You're done. You're
because
cooked.
You're just all
done.
it is clock running out.
Yep.
So I'll just say this, and I like Shane Beamer.
I do too.
He does a solid job.
Yeah.
I thought, and this is what I think of this coaching staff at Alabama, they do a great job at the end of games with their timeouts, and everybody, and this is what I get tired of. Like, I was getting blown up. People were where was this play calling earlier in the game? Because they went straight down the field.
South Carolina's got a good defense.
They
not as good as last year.
No,
but their secondary, that may be the best secondary Alabama played this year.
But I'll just say this. Alabama dropped at least 5 balls, at least.
Well, you're right there. Yeah.
And Ty was off because he missed about a 70-yard touchdown to Germ on a third
Yep,
down.
yep.
I mean, he was off early. He missed a first down throw on the first drive. I thought his first drive was horrible.
Yeah.
He wasn't throwing the ball well at all.
Yeah.
And that's just football.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. He's a little off, and then the receivers weren't helping. That fourth down play, he got hit as he threw, but Ryan Williams, R-Dub, has got to catch that ball. He caught it last week. You got to catch, and he knew it. You've got to catch the ball and help your quarterback.
Yeah, the first 2 drives were 3 and out.
I mean, and I'll be honest, I posted this on my X account. A lot of people, reposted it. Up until they drove down and hit the 2-point conversion, they had basically not done anything all game except for one drive. 14
plays, 79 yards.
They only had 31 snaps in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody's like, where's Isaiah Horton? Where's this guy? And it turned out Horton got a little banged up before the half and was sick. But still, they only had 31 snaps, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll just say this. This team is gritty, and they have some, and I think they have outstanding leadership on the field, and they're mentally tough because last year's team would not have won this game. And I'll just say this too, to credit South Carolina, styles make fights. And for whatever reason, what South Carolina does gives Alabama a lot of problems on both sides of the ball. And I mean, and Dylan Stewart is a beast.
Yeah,
and Brian Thomas Jr. is a good player.
He was finally healthier, and you could tell.
Their ends gave Alabama all kinds of trouble.
Yeah,
Proctor played terrible. I mean, I thought most of the offensive line played bad, but it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just kept thinking, you got to find a way. You got to find a way. Alabama didn't run the ball very well, but they're not a good running football team. It just is what it is. But I will say this.
You need that running game. If you want to play into late January, you need that.
This is what I like about this coaching staff, especially late in games, even if they haven't run it well, they figure out a way to run it.
Yeah.
Whether you give it to Debo, a.k.a. Germ, and you give it to your best player, or you find a way to you put Daniel Hill in, you figure out who can make a play. And so, because for most of the game, Jam was ineffective. But for whatever reason, like I said, I thought Alabama did a good job of finding a way. And and I'll just say this. It was huge. The 2-point conversion was a beautiful call.
How about that play? I mean, how about just the execution of that play?
Yeah.
Everything was perfect.
I mean, it was absolutely perfect because you got them flowing the other way, and then Cuevas is wide open. But
so pretty.
You still had to catch the ball. Well, they caught it. And I thought that was big because it put game pressure on South Carolina because they had to execute. And then that was my thought. The one chance Alabama had, put game pressure on them, and maybe they'll turn the ball over. And they did. Now, when I saw the play happen, I said, that looked like he stripped it. But I thought they may have called the momentum deal, blown the whistle.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I saw the line judge come flying in. He's looking around. And then I saw him go. And I was like, and then I looked at the replay and I was like, that's a fumble.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a fumble.
Yeah.
And then I said, that's Alabama's chance. They've got to figure out a way to get 3 or 7. And if they do, they're going to win this football game. Because I just felt like South Carolina was going to be so deflated, and they were. I mean, I've seen it happen to teams. And so Alabama
That is
found a
one
way to
consistent thing I've seen out of South Carolina. Even when they put themselves in really good position, there is something that happens, be it a hold or some type of call. They had a penalty, bring back a touchdown. There is something that they always just stub their toe on. And I got to go, pivot back to coaching. I do. I mean, the hold was there, but Shane did say one of the holds that he thought was an NBA flop.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
one. I thought it was a hold, but
I see where he's got. I do. When you go back and see it, there was that little, that flailing.
Yeah.
And I understand why Shane went there. I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Well,
There may have been a little gamesmanship there.
may have been, but like I said, I just think, but Alabama was a tired football team. They were a banged
You
up
could
team.
tell that, yeah.
Lotsier had a thigh bruise and then had that flu bug, so he wasn't able to go. And they certainly missed him because he's a playmaker. So Rico got some more reps. I was a little surprised when Horton was limited that we didn't see Cole Adams at receiver. I don't remember seeing him at all. I mean,
so one other little point that I at least want to get your thought on as well. The punt before Bama's punt that turned into a turnover.
Yeah.
I saw the ball hit the guy's foot for South Carolina, and it took a left turn as soon as it hit his foot. It was recovered by Alabama. It was called down, and no one said a word about it. Do you know what I'm referencing here or not?
I mean, I believe so. And
I mean,
the ball should have been dead when it hit him in the foot.
No. It hit the foot of a South Carolina player and turned left, and Bama recovered it, but it was just given to South Carolina. And
I thought you were talking about a punt where.
No, this was before Alabama turned it over.
Oh, okay.
I saw a South Carolina player touch the ball.
I didn't. I guess that I missed that one. I thought you were talking about that one of the times because there were several. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Blake Dowd had his best game. Now, a lot of them were ugly punts, but they got good rolls.
Yeah.
But it was the same way with South Carolina. And I thought you were talking about one earlier in the game where it was another kind of shank, and then it took a bounce, and it may have hit a South Carolina guy, but they ended up not blowing it dead. But as far as where it would have been downed there,
all good. It's just something I noticed, and I tweeted it out as well. But
and then I didn't really. Somebody sent it to me this morning, and so I was so
that turned into the touchdown drive.
Yeah.
After Alabama turned it back over in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden,
Mbakwe didn't know where the hell he was, and he's about as worthless as Burton Scott and needs to hit the road and go to a Jacksonville State type situation. Sitting here holding Alabama hostage last year, wanting more money to do what? What in the hell have you done in 2 years besides do a podcast with Ryan Williams? You've done absolutely nothing. I wouldn't have given a crap if they left him back in Columbia and didn't even let him get back on the freaking bus. I mean, he's terrible. What has he done? And don't say, and if one person tells me he's a kid, shut up.
They're getting
he's making
paid.
a ton of money.
They're getting
Get
paid.
your head out of your ass and play better football. You did nothing at corner last year. You've done nothing. This is how far down the depth chart Jalen Mbakwe is. He didn't play a lick at wide receiver yesterday.
That's right.
He can't even learn the position. He's got the football IQ of a brick. But all I'm saying is, obviously, and again, he didn't locate. He was trying to block a guy, not doing a very good job. But I guess you could say in his defense, and I really didn't notice it until this morning when someone sent it to me. It was a block in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been a clip, and the ball should have been dead there.
Yeah.
But, of course, the idiot official's looking right at it, doesn't call it, and it goes off of Mbakwe, and they let South Carolina, the guy that blocked him in the back, recovered it.
Yeah.
And they end up scoring a touchdown.
Magic.
Yeah, magical. Well, but like I said, man, at least Alabama found a way to win. And look, you've got to just start anticipating that from these SEC officials because they're not very good. None of them are.
Watching multiple games yesterday, I don't know if I'd love to get your opinion on this. It really felt like they did not want to stick their neck out at any one point, and they'd always punt back over to the video side. There was a lot of crews that felt it very timid to me after the headlines that came out from this past week. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
but that's what it felt to me when I was watching the Texas-Mississippi State game or the Auburn-Arkansas game or the Alabama-South Carolina game. The LSU Texas A&M game kind of took on a life of its own at the end there.
Poor Scone, he was drunk as a skunk. Hey, I love the guy, but I mean, hey, yeah, exactly.
Let's raise a glass to Matt Moscona.
9 o'clock, he tweets an alcoholic beverage emoji. I mean,
Matt, I'm thinking about you. I need a wellness check on you.
Wow. I mean, what a second half that was.
By the way, for those wondering, Brian Kelly would be owed $53 million if they choose to go in another direction.
18-14 lead at half, outscored 35-7 in the second half.
I know at least one Notre Dame guy and that's Steve Berline going, see, told you.
Exactly.
See, we told you.
Steve, he's always been a fraud. I'm sorry. He's a good coach. He's not close to elite. And
he's a politician.
He's turned them into an 8-4 program. They have a very talented team, but they didn't do a good enough job of building their offensive line. And their play calling. Like, I agree with Scone. You got a back averaging 7 yards a carry at halftime, and he touches it twice in the second half. I mean, what are you doing?
By the way, the camera crew that was zooming in on the conversation between upstairs and Brian Kelly
and Joe,
that was that was pretty entertaining to watch.
His OC,
live.
He's like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you throwing the ball out in the flat with no timeouts?
Yep.
Well, all I'd say to Brian Kelly is, what the hell are you doing? You hired him. So, you know what I'm saying? You hired all these guys. And Blake Baker, he still can't stop a mobile quarterback to save his life. So, and A&M's good. I mean, they reflect their coach. They're tough-minded. They actually gave away the lead in the first half just by, turnovers and just mental errors.
Yeah.
And they came back out the second half and they busted LSU's head.
One other thing that at least I noticed, there was a very patriotic post game that happened. I don't know if you heard Kalen DeBoer, but yes, if you happen to hear the post game, especially out of the gate, it is God Bless America in the background because the band is right above you at Williams-Brice. So I don't know if you had a chance to listen to a post game.
It's something that we could have done maybe right at the beginning of the season as far as finding a way to win this thing. But our guys got to fight, and they certainly believe that sooner or later they're going to make a play, either themselves or the other side of the ball. And so, again, a great win for us. Much needed bye. It's been an intense 5 weeks, but I think it even goes back before that, when we had our backs to the wall, even during the bye week and Wisconsin and even just the mindset that we had to continue to have going into Monroe. So proud of the guys, and we'll take the momentum, and we'll have some great practices. I know that, and looking forward to the next one in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Coach. To start, we got 2 questions right in the front. Charlie first, and then coaches, can you walk us through that 2-point conversions and tie the game?
2-point play.
I can't tell you what it's called. I mean, it's just one of those plays we practice all the time. We've had it in it's one of those we've had in for years. We've run it a time or two here and there over the last 5-6 years. And so just guys practice it, and you practice it every Thursday, every Friday. You're talking through it for those moments. And, you just offset quarterback, running back, end up handing it to Ty, getting in his hands. And then, really there's run pass option with different guys that you can find, but guys did a great job executing.
One thing in particular, Kalen DeBoer was sort of put in an impossible situation to replace the greatest of all time. And you just heard right there from him about that practice play that they do every Thursday. And if this does not signal to you, by the way, I hope you enjoyed that version of God Bless America as performed by the South Carolina Gamecock Marching Band.
God bless America.
If that does not convince you you've got the right guy, then I don't know what to tell you. Alabama's got the right guy in charge more than anything.
Well, I mean, and I've tried to tell people, I think the biggest, and again, the offensive line last year was a little dicey at times too, but what you have now is a quarterback that knows how to execute this offense, even when he's a little off, because he distributes the ball well, he throws it on time, and you have Grubb back, who's a very creative play caller, who I thought, I mean, that drive, first of all, before they scored to make it 22-20 was beautiful.
Yeah, the 14-play, 79-yard drive.
It was just astonishing. It was just, and they mixed the run and the pass. And then, the play before the touchdown, it kind of got blown up.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful call. Get the ball to Germ. And I mean, he's a clutch guy. He had his first drop of the year in this game because he just usually,
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, he's usually a money guy that you go to. But I just thought it was a beautiful drive, then a beautiful 2-point play. And then when you had the ball late driving it, you're at the 38. But I liked the mix of run and pass. I thought they still stayed patient, stayed with it. And South Carolina, hey, more again, it's the difference in the coaching staffs. Like Beamer burned all his timeouts. So, good. Because then that way you can't stop the clock.
In fact, there was a timeout on that drive that South Carolina took.
And Alabama saved theirs for when they needed them. Absolutely had to, because they called a timeout right before the touchdown to Germ because they were like, "Hey, wait a minute, we've got to make sure that we're on the same page here."
Well, I mean, yeah, that's if you're not taking it, then when are you going to take it?
Right. And so I just thought overall that Alabama, they had the one special teams disaster with the turnover. But like I say, when you go back and look at it, it was a block in the back.
It was
blatant.
That. By the way, that's not reviewable.
Yeah,
block in the back is not reviewable.
No.
All they can review is whether it was touched and where the ball will be marked at. Which, by the way, that's another thing. I have been a big proponent of if replay can fix a problem, fix it.
Well, and then here's the thing too. They might try to say the ball hit him before he blocked him in the back. It didn't look like it. It looked like he was already blocked in the back. There should have been. Now, I know the South Carolina fans would have been apoplectic, but I'm sorry. It's a penalty. Okay? You blocked him in the back. But, hey, man, I'll just say this. It was not a Picasso, but Alabama got it done.
Well, it was a tough stretch.
And now they need this bye week to recharge, get guys healthy.
I mean, South Carolina just got embarrassed by Oklahoma the week before.
Right.
So they got healthier, and they were playing like they were a more determined team.
Well, they knew their season was basically at stake.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to –
and now they get to play Ole Miss. So, enjoy that.
Well, and what a performance by Ole Miss. I mean, I picked Oklahoma
finishing
in the
it
game.
On the fourth quarter.
They were the better team. Oklahoma is not very good on offense, okay? Mateer is not what I thought he was.
Yeah.
I don't like his throwing mechanics. I don't like his decision-making. He's a tough guy. He can run, all that stuff. But this ain't Washington State, bro. You're not gonna have MFers running wide open down the middle where you can just lay it up there.
No.
This is big boy ball, Cat, and you ain't it. I was told he was a Heisman Trophy level player. He ain't even in the stratosphere. He's a little better than Jackson the Bench Arnold. That's about it.
Oklahoma is at Tennessee this week, by the way.
Tennessee will beat the bleep out of them if they can get enough stops. They've got to be able to block them up front. But if I wasn't sure that Ole Miss could, but they did.
So upper tier SEC teams, now that we're 9 weeks into this, I'm putting Alabama in there. I'm putting Georgia in there. I'm putting Ole Miss in there. I'm putting Vanderbilt in the upper tier of SEC teams.
Don't forget Texas A&M. They may be the best.
That's my bad, Mike Elko. That was really impressive of how efficiently they played down in Baton Rouge. That is my bad. Let me start with Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Then Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and I'll put Vanderbilt in there as well.
Put Vanderbilt in
you
there.
You do.
And Missouri might be sixth.
You know who I'm not putting in the upper tier?
Who?
A team that still has everything right in front of
Texas.
them. Deep in the heart of overrated.
Yeah, they're overrated as hell. I mean, I can say this. What in the hell is Mississippi State doing?
Jeff Lebby.
I mean, you've blown 3 games that you had. Tennessee, Florida, and then you blow a 17-point lead in 9 minutes. You can't tackle a punt returner.
Yeah.
Just kick it out of bounds. For crying out loud, give your defense a chance. I mean, I've never seen choke jobs like that. Just horrendous.
That part of the game is a lost art, the coffin corner.
Yeah.
And I'd not utilized. I mean, hindsight 2020 there again as well. But you are so right, and especially after all the momentum that Texas had at that point, who's to say they wouldn't go down and score anyway? But we'll never know because you kicked to an explosive guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid.
I mean, Niblett was, you can tell how twitchy he was and able to create some space for himself down the sideline.
Well, and then to top it off, he had done it against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So why are you even kicking the ball to him? I don't know. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, I feel for the Mississippi State fan base because they're liable to now go over in the league. I mean, are you kidding? And they're better. They're better this year.
Yeah.
But they find a way. I'll just say this. It's called losers find a way to lose.
They're Mississippi State's out of Arkansas this weekend.
And that's another team that finds a way to lose. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
They were up 21-10.
Taylon Green, I mean, just 4 interceptions.
A pick for you and a pick for you.
But Auburn does have a great defense.
Yeah, they do.
And Auburn their defense basically took the game over the last quarter and a half. They weren't going to let the offense screw it up.
Yeah.
And they did. And kudos to Alex McPherson after all he's gone through.
Yeah.
6 for 6.
Pride of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Yep. And he's going to be SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. I mean,
he's got to be.
He was unbelievable. And Auburn was able to, finally halt that losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can stop with the Bobby Petrino head coach crap because that's not going to happen.
No, not a bit. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. A little bit deeper of a dive into this one. There for a minute, Alabama's best down was 4th down in this game. Went for it 3 times, converted 2 of them in the game. South Carolina did outgain Alabama 333-325. Ran the ball for 72 yards. South Carolina ran the ball for 111. But third downs, 8 of 16 for Alabama. And that number looked a whole lot worse halfway through the third quarter before that last drive that Drew was talking about, the 14-play, 79-yard drive for the Crimson Tide. Alabama ended up with 66 plays, but I was keeping some notes, and at one point in the game, while I'm trying to stall for myself, where was it? It was 65 plays to 47 plays at one point in the second half for South Carolina over Alabama. There was a lot to dissect from this one. Alabama did commit 6 penalties for 52 yards, 5 for South Carolina. So didn't play as clean. You could tell what Drew said was just spot on, that this was a tired football team. And now heading into a bye week, getting ready for LSU and the November stretch, you could hear that as much from Kalen DeBoer. He was asked a couple other things that I wanted to play for you. Here is the Alabama coach.
Yeah, that was impressive. I think all around, from the guys and the coaches, the coaching staff, just really being patient, and taking it one play at a time, knowing that, when you got to get the 2-point conversion, but just trusting and believing that our guys will execute. And they did, just stacked plays, and everyone did their job. We didn't have any penalties that hurt us. We didn't have those negative plays that hurt us. And so, again, just everyone locking in, doing your job, and trusting your buddies.
Alex on the left.
2 things. One, did you notice the fans inching down to storm the field? Did you say anything?
I didn't notice. I didn't notice.
Well, that's the answer to that. With Deontay Lawson, just what can you say about him making that play? Obviously, the guy who's been through a lot of fun.
Man, I'm so proud of that guy, and he's getting better, too. He's, I don't even know the number of months out from last year, but he's getting better. In practice, you can see it, and there's just things that he's working so hard to get his body right, and it's awesome to see him come through. And just the leadership piece, it's so important to have him out there. I thought, from a leadership standpoint, our TK raised his game, just not just on the field, but off the field. Those guys are the ones that understand what this fight is all about. And, we got a lot of new faces still. 30-some guys probably that were new this year, 35 probably that came in last year. And so, there's a lot of roster turnover. And so understanding the circumstances and what you're coming into, you got to really rely on those guys that have been through it. And those are two workhorses that I'm super proud of. I'm glad we got this moment for them.
I honestly forgot about that last piece. That's why I wanted to play it for you, of the amount of roster turnover that has taken place at Alabama. But for Lawson to look healthier and Tim Keenan, those are two important pieces here down the stretch. Drew.
Well, they are, and I'll be honest, I'm glad Deontay created the fumble. That was great effort. Up to that point, I thought he'd played horrendous. And I'll just say that because he had a chance to sack Sellers early in the game, came free, missed him, turned into a big play.
But you know what? In that regard, it is harder because you don't have that reckless abandon. Now, when you think about defenders going in and collapsing on the quarterback, now you're making them think, well, where can I tackle them without getting a flag? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I just thought he missed some tackles and was out of position. But when it mattered, he made a play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jefferson played solid. He got out of position a couple times, but he was at least playing fast and knocking the piss out of people. And I can take that. I can't take a lot of Damani Jackson, okay? Because, he seems adverse to contact is all I'll say. And so if you're playing 110 miles an hour and at least hitting somebody like Bray Hubbard, I can handle Bray Hubbard screwing it up because he'll come back and knock the piss out of somebody. But if you're running out of bounds and you're running away from folk, I can't handle it. And so, but I will give this coaching staff credit. They'll take you out. Like James Smith made 2 stupid mental errors, and they took him out immediately because he's supremely talented. But you never know what he's going to do. So, but again, they made the plays when they had to. Like I said, defensively, I thought that, again, like Coach said, I thought Tim Keenan, he played consistent. He helped create that turnover, give Deontay a game ball for creating it. I thought Jefferson did some good things, no question about it. And then overall, I thought the defense played pretty well. Now, I didn't think they played great because I thought they missed too many tackles. But but Sellers has something to do with that because he's a heck of an athlete,
first-round talent,
and he does a heck of a job. But I thought that Alabama did. I thought Yanze gave him another really good effort. He was being disruptive. Keeley at the end of the game, when you bring him in fresh, he can rush the passer.
What do you think of Morgan?
I thought Red Morgan made a couple of nice plays.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have too much criticism of the defense. I thought they battled their tail. And you got to remember to look at the total plays, Steve. For most of the game, South Carolina dominated the time of possession until the fourth quarter. So Alabama's defense was tired. They were out there a lot. So I've criticized Kane, but they did a really nice job. The only thing that was, for a while there, I just thought it wasn't Alabama's day because they dropped about 5 passes.
Yep.
And then Zabian dropped an interception.
Yeah.
It went right through his hands.
Yeah.
Because it was underthrown by Sellers.
He was reaching for it, but it was.
You got to have it. You got to make the play.
It's not like it bounced off of his number or anything, but it would still, it hit you. It hit you in the hand.
And then I was afraid one of the turning points, I don't know if you remember the sequence, but it was the opening drive of the third quarter. Alabama got the football.
Yeah.
And they had a 2nd down and 1.
Yeah.
And they decided to go deep, and it was almost picked. And then they went to Daniel Hill, who was stuffed. And then Ryan dropped the ball on 4th down. I felt like they should have hurried. They should have gone tempo and just given it to Daniel Hill and moved the sticks on 2nd down. Then
it was 3rd or 4th and 1.
Then take your shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the one time I got frustrated with Grubb. I was like, look, we're hurrying. We're up 8. Take your time. Bludgeon them. You've got to. It's like a fight. and this was a fight, but you got to, to the body, and then take a shot.
Yeah.
And then club them over the head. But when it mattered, again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot like the NFL. I've watched it, and that's what I like about Ty Simpson. He didn't have his best game, but when it mattered,
a fourth down drive,
he made the plays.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. And, and they executed. And see, that's the thing. South Carolina did not. As the late Wayne Gambrell would say, you couldn't have stuck a 20-penny nail up the crack of their you-know-what in the fourth quarter. Because they're playing, they're not playing free.
Yeah.
And you got to play free. And that's what Alabama did.
Well,
they played free.
That drive would have been a whole lot different had Germ was there. The second play from scrimmage on that drive that you're talking about. This is after the handoff to Jam, the throw over the top to Germ.
Oh, that was a great play, by the way.
God. Yeah, it really.
I'm not going to sit here and raise hell because that.
No.
It was well thrown.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a touchdown, but that was a tremendous athletic play, as you talked about the South Carolina secondary. That was. Yeah. I said, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
turned right around and went to Germ for 13 yards, then Jam for 6. Then let's see here, an incomplete pass to Germ, followed by Ty completing it to Cuevas. That made it 3rd and 4. Then Daniel Hill rushed over the left side of the yard for 11 yards. Yeah,
that was the longest run of the day, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's
and by the way, Daniel Hill is one hell of a receiver. He was the leading receiver in the game. He can make plays. I mean,
just looks like a bowling ball going down, doesn't he?
Yeah, and as Wes and Keith pointed out to me, and I had forgotten that, and I do remember, he's a lot taller than Junior Sewell. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot Junior was about 5'9" or 5'10". Okay, but
yeah, that little dump off to Daniel Hill, and then
it looks like he is. Now that he's healthier, that he's running back number 2.
I think it's pretty clear.
Riley didn't play very many snaps.
No, he did not.
They gave Dan, and Hill can block. Now he missed a couple of protections, but and then let's not forget Vandermark didn't play.
Yeah.
He ended up being out. I don't know if he had the virus and also had a little bit of an injury, but I was told that there was a flu bug running through the team, so he wasn't able to play, and so. They were limited in what they had available. I'll just say that, and who they trust, because guys like Jackson Lloyd are not ready.
Yeah.
Even Michael Carroll, who played a few snaps, they're still not completely ready, and guys that you can count on.
I know
for a whole game.
To the person that just called in, give me a minute and a half right here. Want to thank obviously Dreamland BBQ. They are
without them.
Presenting sponsor. Dreamland BBQ ain't nothing like them nowhere. Head over to our website right now at 977ESPN.com. Click on the Big Zone deals, upper left-hand corner. Get $50 for just $25, or even better yet, get 2 of them or 3 of those gift certificates, because there's only one handling fee no matter what. So the more certificates you buy, the cheaper that handling fee is. Just head over to our website. Ain't nothing like them nowhere. Dreamland BBQ. We'll be right back with your phone calls.
Log on today.
Dreamland Barbecue, the perfect team.
All right, 29-22. After South Carolina goes, you know what? Let's just let them score. Let's just let them score. I want to put the ball in the hands of the best player on the field, which arguably, that's an argument. It is, but I never put Talty. Talty's been in that situation 0 times.
Ever.
0 times, and we'll never know. Well, we do know Alabama heads into the bye week with a lot of momentum, and the playoffs are very, very real, as well as a Southeastern Conference championship is still very, very real.
Well, I'll just say this before we go to the phone lines. Alabama and Texas A&M control their own destiny, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Out to the phone lines we go on a Bama recap show, smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Good morning. Who's us?
Will.
How you doing, Will?
What up, Will?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Good, good. Appreciate the call.
Good. I'm glad you brought that up about the kicker, man. Drew, were you one of the people that was kind of nervous about Graham Talty potentially having to make a 40-plus yard field goal there at the end?
Why, hell yes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I wanted.
What
to
about
get,
you,
I
Will?
mean, I was hoping to get within 30 yards. I was like, if we're gonna kick it, and I'm gonna say if Alabama's going to kick the field goal, that's what I was like. Alabama's got to get inside the 20, and then I'll feel at least somewhat good that he could make it. Now, but if it had been 40 or longer, drink. That's all I'm saying, man. Oh my God,
Moscona. Moscona. It's no longer called drink.
I was about on my way to the liquor store to go get some Evan Williams, but I just decided to finish my Coors Light after that Jeremy Bernard touchdown. So I was finna jump in the fire if we had to leave it up in the hands of the kicker. Who was our kicker last year? Was it Graham Nicholson? Was that his name?
Yeah, and he went 9 for 11, and he was solid. But
no, you stole him from Miami of Ohio, don't you remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Miami of Ohio, that's it. Yeah.
I think he only made one kick of like 45 plus all year because I'll be honest with this coaching staff. Will they eschew field goals a lot. They go for it on fourth down quite a bit, and if they do kick them, and they may be 40 plus yards because we have to attempt this field goal. But I'm glad they didn't leave it in Talty's hands, put it in your best player's hands, and I can't help it that DQ went. And I didn't notice it at first. I thought
I noticed it immediately,
and then I saw the replay, and he goes,
I saw the hands go up, and I'm like,
Lord, thank you.
They're letting him score.
Wow. With 34 seconds to go.
A bunch of people said he did that to give Lenore Sellers a little bit of time.
Right, he did.
Going
That's right.
Type deal. But man, boy, I miss Will Reichert, Lee Tiffin. I miss having a sure shot kicker, man. But yeah, when they were showing him on the broadcast sitting there warming up, I was like, God. But I'm glad we gave it in number 5's hands, man. Jeremy Bernard is something special.
Yeah, when the chips are down, that's when you go to your money guys, and Germ's been that guy this year for Alabama.
And Ty Simpson, I think he was a little bit off last night, man. But he hit Rico Scott right in the hands. He dropped it. But there was a pass he hit. He was like one stride off of Jeremy Bernard. Then that one deep pass to Williams that he had to dive.
Fourth down play.
Yeah. No, this was early. This was first possession. He threw deep to Williams, and Williams was 2
or
3 yards behind him.
Yeah.
He just missed
it.
Yeah. I will say, dude, making them deep third downs to Daniel Hill, 3rd and 20, and it was like a 3rd and 11 on the little chip block, when he runs out in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just beautiful, man. I love to see that. I mean, they had me sitting there biting my fingernails all game, man. It was a good win though. But I definitely think our them inside zones to Jan Miller. I don't know what with Brailsford and Jaden Roberts and our guards, Vandermark, whoever's in there. I definitely think we need a better initial push because Jan Miller just really isn't getting the space that he needs, on them inside zones. But and I really respect Kane Womack for putting in these 2nd and 3rd string guys. There was a play where we were like in a 4-2-5, and Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. was sitting there, making his calls, and they shifted, and he made a big third down stop. But then there was plays where they threw it to the flat, their running back, and he got that 33-yard gain. I was like, oh, my Lord. But other than that, man, good win. It was a nail biter for sure. Definitely, this team gets my blood pressure up, but I love them. I'm gonna watch them every Saturday. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm definitely gonna get my blood pressure up here in a minute.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Appreciate it, Will. Thanks for the call, man.
You'll be able to hear that game coming up as Falcons and Dolphins. We'll hear the Falcon perspective from the Atlanta Falcon Radio Network as. That 33-yard hookup there from Sellers to Faison. That was one of the bigger chunk plays that South Carolina was able to get.
Here's the funny thing. Going into the season, a lot of people would have told you that in their opinion, probably that the top 4 quarterbacks in the SEC on paper were Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning, Nussmeier, Garrett Nussmeier, and probably Mateer. And they're none of them are in the top 4.
Yeah.
The top 4 are Ty Simpson, in my opinion. I think
you're going to put Reed.
I'm going to put Marcel Reed. Trinidad Chambliss, who nobody knew who the hell he was.
Yeah, unless you're
Atlanta.
a Ferris State Bulldog fan.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Diego.
Yeah.
And Diego's stats may not be great.
I might go Lenoris over Diego.
I can't. And
it's not
I have to give him the respect because he wins, Steve. I don't care about the stats. I don't really give a
Vanderbilt's
rat's
defense
whatever.
is better than South Carolina's defense.
Well, they are, but they're still not dominant. And Diego, I don't know what it is, but he just makes plays.
He does. But I personally, from an NFL.
No, look, but I don't care about the NFL.
Okay. You're just talking college.
That's Belichick's problem.
My fault.
He's 6'4". He can play in the NFL. But, Coach, you better go out and sign somebody like Chandler Morris, who's got Virginia 7-1. He wanted to play for you because that don't matter. You want somebody that's going to win you college football games. You don't want to get fired, okay? And so that's the thing. And then though to me, that's the top 4 quarterbacks in the SEC right now. I think Taylor Green, too many turnovers. I mean, great athlete,
clearly,
but the guy is just a turnover machine. He's Jalen Milroe's cousin.
And Cutter is learning on the fly, the freshman quarterback there for Kentucky. And
I like that kid.
Yeah.
He looks good. I mean,
you can tell he's a freshman.
But unfortunately, Stoops I think he's run out of steam.
Tennessee just boat raced them.
I mean, they couldn't get a stop.
Back out to the phone lines we go. It's the Bama Recap Show, smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Good morning. Who's this?
Crimson Carl.
How we doing?
What's up, Carl?
Hey, man, how y'all doing?
Good.
Well, I tell you what, man, I worked a double yesterday and came home, took a nap, watched the first half, went back to work. About 5 o'clock, clocked in, and I was like, what the is going on with this thing? I mean, I couldn't visually look at it, but I was listening to it.
Yeah. That's as healthy as South Carolina's been in over a month, and
especially on the offensive line.
They played that way. Yeah. At one point during the Oklahoma game, they were down 6 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So that's why when I heard Shane say that in his press conference, and I asked him about it on Wednesday, it did make me think that this team was going to play out of their minds.
Yeah.
Well, and they're playing Alabama, and they had that 15th, anniversary of,
Oh, yeah, Spurrier was there, Garcia was there, Jeffries was there.
And Spurrier had to point out that it was probably the biggest win of his career at South Carolina since he didn't win a championship, beating Alabama.
Yeah, I heard
of course. I mean, it's Coach Spurrier. You got to understand.
Yeah.
And I mean, I actually really like Coach Spurrier.
Yeah, I can't spell citrus at UT.
But he'll drive you crazy a little bit with some of the zingers. But I will say this, Coach Spurrier, he'll talk to anybody, and it's one of my favorite interviews I've ever done in my career. When Scott and I got a chance to interview him, I mean, Coach Spurrier, he will talk about anything. He talked about Duke like he loved it when we started talking about airball. Okay.
Yeah.
And Billy Ray.
You got anything else for us, Carl?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that, kind of like y'all said, man, they were tired. They were just, good.
It's a good win.
Yeah, all the way.
When you don't play your best and still get a road win in this SEC,
right?
That's a damn good win.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be interesting to see how all these tiebreakers come down at the end.
Hopefully they won't be
7A Region 4.
Yeah.
Are we seeping in a little 7A Region 4 talk right now?
Yeah, Crimson Call. Hopefully, as we said before you came on the show, Alabama and Texas A&M control their own destiny.
That's right.
They need to win.
Exactly. Well, I didn't hear that, but I agree with that. But
otherwise, we might have 7A Region 4.
Oh, mercy.
I got a text yesterday. Who won? I was like, I don't know. Nobody knows.
I would believe that just a little sidebar here, that week 10, the non-region games matter.
Yeah,
they matter.
Florence has got to go to Oxford, for example.
And James Clemens, has Homewood, I think?
Yeah.
So, good luck with that.
Yeah, and Homewood's going to win that region. So, good luck.
Yeah.
And by the way, that forfeit may hurt James Clemens against Gardendale.
Yeah.
Because they beat the Rockets early in the year. We talk a lot of things on this show.
Yes, we do. All right, Carl. Appreciate the phone call,
all right,
sir.
man. Thanks for letting me on.
Absolutely.
Yes, no
Brandon has called in as well here now this Sunday afternoon by 45 seconds. How are you, Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
Sitting there when we got ready to kick that field goal. I was sitting there praying. I was like, please let the ghost of Philip Doyle enter the building.
Or Will Rikers.
Or you could just bank on Shane Beamer saying, let him score.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking. There's no way.
I get it in one respect that you want Lenoris to do Lenoris things, but there was just no time.
Yeah, there's 34 seconds.
Had there been over a minute, I would understand it more, but you just don't know when you're putting a kicker in that kind of situation who's never been in that situation.
Yeah, never.
And we'll never know. Well, maybe we will know down the stretch, but we won't know because let them score.
Well, for as much as we talk about Ty Simpson and how good he is, just don't overlook what we've got in Ryan Grubb. That dude's play calling, he's got some psycho to him, and I love it. And he reminds me of those stones in the Indiana Jones movie. When you put them all together, they glow. And that's what I feel like this coaching staff does. I can't remember what them things are called. But
I don't either. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember that. This guy's just got it. He is not afraid to go out there and just do some stupid stuff that makes people go, what is he doing? And if we get the offensive line to block, then big boys scored yesterday. But they were like Jeff see-through blouser during most of the game yesterday, so it was just not great. But when I thought we were going to kick a field goal, I was there and thinking, of course we are. Of course we are going to end up kicking a field goal. But thank God, Jeremy Bernard might be the most impactful transfer we've had since Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, you could say that. I thought about that yesterday. I mean, Germ's been a heck of a player. I mean, and don't forget, he at one point he was at Michigan State, so he's been to 3 different schools.
Well, he showed me he's a guy that just doesn't care. He'll do whatever. He's willing to lay it out there. He's the ultimate team guy, but he's got a lot of effort. And I really hope that Ryan Williams is learning a lot watching him with his versatility and his attitude of what he's willing to do. Because when Coach came and brought him with him, I had no idea how big of a guy he was going to be. I was really thinking Parker Brailford was going to be the most impactful guy, and he does a great job. But I just think Jeremy Menard's been the biggest impact player transfer we've had since 2020.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, don't forget Cuevas.
Yeah.
Because he came in late. And here's how I discovered Cuevas. Somebody pointed out to me that he was in the student directory because he didn't really even announce that he was coming to Alabama on his, and I sent it to Rodney Orr. I said, hey, Rodney, there's somebody in the student directory we may need to check out. And it turns out he's going to play in the NFL. So
there's that.
I mean, and because he caught the 4th and 3 pass too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't score on that drive. You know, you could be having some issues. So I'll give this coaching staff credit. They trust people because they could have kicked a extra point field goal then, an extra point, about a 20-yard field goal. They said, nope, we're going for it. We're going to score a touchdown. And Cuevas got open and made the play.
Yeah, Cuevas has been channeling his inner Colin Peak many times this year.
Yeah.
Coming up right when he needs to come up. But no, I just look at Ryan Grubb and I'm thinking this was the piece that we were missing. And I hope that dude stays put and comes back next year. I hope nobody does nothing crazy and he ends up getting a job somewhere.
There's plenty of jobs that are open.
Well, I mean, I don't think he'll leave unless it's a head coaching job and the right one. But we'll see.
Well, I was hoping Fish was going to stay at Washington and not go to UCLA because if that job comes open and he can get it, he'd tear the door off. But I would just love to have him for at least one more year just for recruiting reasons.
Well, I will say this. UCLA hit that brick wall yesterday.
Didn't they?
And it's called Indiana. And now Indiana wants Bama, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to want Bama.
And North Carolina nearly pulled it off yesterday.
I know. But Bill couldn't.
And
Virginia is a team everybody needs to pay close attention to a week from Tuesday if they take care of business this week. Virginia could be this year's Indiana/SMU, where they could rank them higher, and that would be a problem.
Well, but Red lost to Robbie Ashford yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I really like putting $25 on Iowa when Scott feels nervous about them, especially when they go out and do what they did yesterday. That might be their game of the year.
I did not watch a single snap of that one.
Oh, God, they were up like 31-0 in the first quarter, wasn't it?
Wow. I did not realize that.
You're talking about
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. Well, I was too busy paying attention to Coach Prime.
You were up late.
Yeah, 53-7. They lose to Utah. He can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag, man. And they made him out to be Sportsman of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The guy is a joke. One of my favorite athletes of all time.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But both things can be true. Michael Jordan is the greatest to ever play. He was a terrible owner and
executive.
The Hornets never won anything. Okay, Deion can't coach his way out of a wet paper sack. He played daddy ball, and everybody knows it.
All right, Brandon. Appreciate the phone call, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Roll Tide.
Let's dive into Week 10 before we close up shop. It begins 11 a.m. with Texas playing host to Vanderbilt. Believe it or not, the Longhorns are a 2.5-point home favorite. I already think the wrong team's favorite in that one. 2:30, you'll be able to hear it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It's the cocktail party. Georgia and Florida. The Dogs are a 7.5-point favorite. They're in Jacksonville. 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the SEC Network is Mississippi State at Arkansas. The Hogs are a 4.5-point home favorite over Mississippi State. I have no idea on that one. South Carolina is at Ole Miss. There is no line yet out on that game, but I would assume Ole Miss is going to be a very sizable favorite over the South Carolina Gamecocks. The late night action begins at Neyland Stadium as Tennessee plays host to Oklahoma. The Vols are a 4-point home favorite over Oklahoma. And the final game is Kentucky at Auburn. Auburn is a 9.5-point home favorite over the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, I'll just tell Brother Hugh, you can't give this one back, man. After you beat the Hogs, you got to win this one at home and give your fans something to cheer about after all the excruciating losses. You've got to win this game if you're Brother Hugh. You get to 5
You
and
would
4.
think. You
got
Kentucky.
Because guess where because the next week you're going to Diego Land.
That's
Nashville.
That's a problem.
And I think that'll be a tough physical football game.
That's a problem.
But you better get the win over Kentucky.
It's a bye week for Bama. We are back next Sunday, by the way.
Yeah.
To start diving more into LSU. The LSU, by the way, is on a bye week as well. Kind of customary. Both teams on a bye week before they face off. That's usually the first weekend in November. But don't forget, next Sunday at this point, we're going to fall back an hour.
Yeah, that's right. I keep thinking, is this the weekend? Is this the weekend?
This upcoming weekend. So after you enjoy Nick Saban's birthday on October 31st and maybe a few of you some Halloween treats, we'll be back here next Sunday at 11 o'clock. And again, a big thank you to Dreamland BBQ. Who are your players of the game?
Well, I've got to give it to Jeremy Bernard on offense. He was tremendous. The 2 clutch touchdowns, no question about it, and the plays he made. I'd give a game ball to Ty Simpson for battling, also Cuevas for making some clutch plays, Daniel Hill. But as far as MVP on offense, it's got to be Jeremy. MVP on defense, I'd have to give it to Tim Keenan and to Deontay Lawson. Lawson didn't play great, but you created the turnover that won the game.
Free sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. 2 of your all-time breakfast faves, each for just $2.99. Now at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.